Welcome to Infinity Beyond, your quiet corner of the cosmos. Tonight's story is a gentle one. It's about how galaxies, those vast, swirling cities of stars, were born from silence and dust. I hope it doesn't keep you awake, but if it does, at least you'll learn something about the early universe before you close your eyes. Now, breathe slowly. Let your shoulders drop. You're about to drift through 13.8 billion years of cosmic history. No rush. The stars will wait for you. Let's begin. 13.8 billion years ago, the universe was small. Not just small in the way we describe a cozy room or a quiet place. It was compact beyond imagining. Hotter than any star's core. Denser than anything we can recreate. Then came a moment we call the Big Bang. It wasn't an explosion in space. It was space itself expanding. A graceful swelling. Space grew faster than the speed of light, like a balloon inflating with invisible energy. There was no debris flying through space. Space was the debris. Space was becoming itself. In the first few moments, everything was chaos. Quarks and gluons danced, photons zipped and bounced, and gravity, the quiet architect, began its timeless work. The universe was hot, wild, but full of potential. It was like a glowing soup, bubbling with energy and unknown laws. As the universe expanded, it began to cool. Cooling brought order. Particles joined to form atoms. Atoms clung together to form gas. And in the vast darkness, gravity began to pull that gas into great clouds. Clouds collapsed. Pressures rose. Temperatures soared. And then, stars were born. The first lights in the darkness, not solitary. These stars came in clusters, in swirls, in beautiful structures that began to spin. These were galaxies, and they changed everything. Imagine a galaxy forming, a spiral of stars, rotating slowly, glowing softly. Billions of suns dancing together in cosmic harmony. The stars lit up the universe. And as more galaxies formed, they began to group, like cities forming nations. Clusters, superclusters, webs of light. But there's something deeply humbling in all of this. Because in these galaxies, in these stars, the ingredients of life were being forged. Inside stellar cores, hydrogen fused into helium, then helium into carbon, then oxygen, nitrogen, iron. The very elements that would one day form oceans, trees, and even you. These stars would explode, spreading their elements into space. That dust, the same dust that once drifted through empty galaxies, would eventually become planets. And from those planets, life. And from life, consciousness. You. So as you listen to this story from Infinity Beyond, remember, you are not just part of the universe. You are the universe, remembering itself. The galaxies are not far. They are in you. You are made of the same dust that built the stars. You carry their light in your bones. Tonight, as you drift to sleep, imagine that swirling galaxy. It is still spinning, still glowing. And somewhere inside it, a small blue planet turns slowly beneath a sky full of ancient light. Breathe in, you are home. After silence came structure. In the earliest days of the universe, all was dark. But hidden within that darkness were gentle ripples, small variations in density, like soft wrinkles in a perfectly stretched fabric. Gravity, patient and quiet, began to work. It tugged at these ripples, pulling matter inward, forming threads, then knots, then webs. We now call this the cosmic web, a vast invisible framework made of dark matter and gas. Imagine the universe as a giant three-dimensional spider web, stretching in every direction, dotted with glimmers of light yet to be born. Within these threads, the first galaxies would take shape. In between? Voids, vast, lonely regions of nothingness, so empty that no stars would ever shine there. At the center of this silent formation was an unseen force, dark matter. It doesn't shine, it doesn't reflect, it doesn't speak to light at all. And yet, it holds the universe together. Like an invisible scaffolding, dark matter pulled regular matter, hydrogen and helium, into place. Without it, the cosmos would have remained a fog, a drifting cloud of glowing gas. But with it, something extraordinary began to happen. After hundreds of millions of years, gas gathered into pockets. Gravity squeezed these clouds tighter and tighter. Pressure rose, temperature soared, until finally, the very first stars ignited. They were nothing like our sun. These ancient stars were giants, massive, blazing hot, and short-lived. But they burned bright. Their light pierced the darkness, transforming the universe forever. This moment is known as the cosmic dawn, the first time the universe was lit from within. It is not a moment we can see with our eyes, but its echo still surrounds us, a soft, ancient glow, drifting gently through all of space. These first stars were factories. Inside them, nuclear fusion created the elements the universe had never seen before: carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, iron. And when these stars died, they exploded. They scattered their treasures far and wide, seeding space with the ingredients for planets and life. In their death, they gave birth to possibility. So now, as you close your eyes and breathe deeply, imagine those first points of light flickering to life, alone at first, then multiplying, forming constellations, galaxies, and eventually, skies like the one above you tonight. The stars you see now are not the first, but they are descendants, and so are you. The hydrogen in your breath is ancient. The iron in your blood was forged in a dying star. You carry the story of the universe within you. You are not just in the cosmos. The cosmos is in you. Thank you for joining Infinity Beyond on this quiet journey into the cosmic dawn. As we drift through time, space, and memory, let your thoughts fade into starlight. And remember, everything begins in darkness. But with time, even the quietest corners of the universe can learn to shine. By now, the darkness had softened. Stars had gathered. Galaxies had begun to grow, some shy and compact, others vast and graceful. The universe was no longer formless. It had neighborhoods. It had structure. The cosmos was slowly organizing its brilliance. Galaxies began to reveal their personalities. Some spun in massive spirals, elegant and vast. Others were round, calm, and compact. A few looked chaotic, like scribbles made by gravity's youngest apprentice. No two were the same, like snowflakes. If snowflakes weighed hundreds of billions of suns. Spiral galaxies, the showstoppers. You've seen them before, in posters, documentaries, and telescope images with glowing arms twirling in space. Their curved arms spiral outward like frozen whirlpools of stars. Their centers glow with golden light, surrounded by waves of starlight and gas. They are beauty in motion. They are poetry in structure. Our own Milky Way is one of them. We live in one of its arms, tucked gently into its spiral. But not all galaxies follow this pattern. Some are elliptical, spherical, or oval-shaped, with no spiral arms, no graceful swirl. They are older, calmer, and filled with ancient stars. These are the galaxies that have seen things. They are the quiet elders of the universe. Then there are the irregulars, galaxies that defy structure, twisted, warped, shaped by collisions or gravitational tugs from nearby neighbors. They are reminders that the universe is not always orderly. Sometimes it's wild, and in that wildness, there is still beauty. So why do galaxies take different shapes? The answer lies in time. in gravity, and in the quiet patience of the cosmos. Spiral galaxies tend to be younger, rich in gas, actively forming stars. Their rotation gives rise to the familiar arms, where new stars are born. Elliptical galaxies often result from collisions. Two galaxies collide, merge, and settle into a calmer, rounder form. Irregular galaxies may be shaped by close encounters, by near misses or gravitational dances with larger neighbors. Galaxies are not static. They move, they collide, they evolve. Over billions of years, a spiral can become elliptical. An irregular can grow calm. The universe is always becoming something new. And yet, through it all, galaxies carry the memory of their past. The stars they formed, the collisions they survived, the shapes they once held. They are cosmic biographies, written in starlight. Tonight, as you listen to this story from infinity beyond, imagine these galaxies not as distant places, but as great, glowing beings. Each with a history, each with a rhythm, each spinning silently, far above and within. The Milky Way spins now, slowly, patiently. Its arms cradle you, its stars sing softly. You are not just a passenger in the galaxy. You are part of its story, a moment in its long, luminous memory. Look up on a clear night, and if you're far from city lights, you may see a glowing ribbon stretched across the sky. A river of stars, a band of light made of stardust, ancient gas, and time. That's the Milky Way, our home, a spiral galaxy, spinning silently in the dark. From Earth we see it edge on, like staring through the body of a grand pinwheel from inside one of its arms. Billions of stars, layered in every direction. It's hard to see where we are, because we are inside it. Like trying to understand the shape of a bottle, while being trapped inside the glass. The Milky Way is large, about 100,000 light-years across. It contains somewhere between 100 and 400 billion stars. We're not sure of the exact number, because counting stars while surrounded by them is like counting raindrops from the bottom of a storm. But we do know this: we are not near the center. We are out in one of the spiral arms, the Orion arm. Not too close to the chaos, not too far from the action. Galactic suburbia. The center of our galaxy is a different place entirely. A region of energy, activity, and gravity. At its heart lies a supermassive black hole, Sagittarius A. It has the mass of 4 million suns, and yet it is invisible. It doesn't shine. It doesn't roar. It waits silently. But we know it's there, because we can see the stars near it dance. Astronomers have tracked them for years, watching them whip around an unseen point, pulled by something massive, dark, and unmistakable. Like moths circling a fire they cannot see. This black hole is not violent, not greedy. It doesn't devour recklessly, but it anchors everything. It holds our galaxy together. Without it, the spiral would drift. Without it, we would not be here. Think about that for a moment. At the center of our home galaxy is a silent force, keeping everything in motion. Not visible, but undeniable. Much like gravity itself. Much like the things that quietly shape our lives. Tonight, as you breathe slowly, picture the Milky Way from afar. A glowing swirl, with our tiny star tucked in an outer arm, orbiting slowly through space and time. And at the center, stillness, a quiet flame that binds it all together. The galaxy turns, the stars dance, and through it all, you are here, a part of the spiral, a part of its rhythm, a note in its song. Thank you for joining Infinity Beyond. In the galaxy's great movement, you are not lost. You are held. And the stars, they remember you. In space, gravity is patient. It doesn't rush. It pulls, gently, endlessly, across light years. And the more mass something has, the more gravity it exerts. But what if there was more mass than we could see? Astronomers, curious as always, looked closely at galaxies. They measured how fast the stars spun, especially the stars on the outer edges, far from the bright, crowded centers. And what they found was strange. Those outer stars were moving too fast to be held in place by just the visible matter. By all logic, they should have been flung into space, like glitter off a spinning wheel. But they stayed, orbiting, loyal, balanced. Something was missing, something unseen, but powerful. Enter dark matter. We can't see it, we can't touch it, we can't feel it, but we know it's there because of its gravity. Its fingerprints are everywhere, shaping galaxies, guiding motion, anchoring the cosmos. Dark matter does not glow, it doesn't reflect light, but it bends space. It influences everything. There's a lot of it. In fact, about 5 times more dark matter than normal matter exists in the universe. That means for every star you see in the night sky, there are 5 times more mass surrounding it, unseen. Imagine a galaxy like a glowing jellyfish, swimming in a giant, invisible bubble. That bubble is the dark matter halo. It keeps the galaxy from unraveling. It holds the stars in place. It allows the spiral to spin without falling apart. Without dark matter, galaxies wouldn't exist as we know them. The universe would be chaotic, disconnected. But thanks to this invisible thread, there is structure, there is grace. And perhaps that's a lesson. Not everything that shapes us can be seen. Some forces are quiet, subtle, invisible, but no less real. Dark matter reminds us that reality is deeper than appearances, that the universe has hidden layers, that even in silence there is strength. So tonight, as you drift into sleep, think of your galaxy, spinning slowly, cradled by something unseen, something holding everything together, quiet, constant, unshakable. Thank you for floating with infinity beyond. The stars may shine, but it is the invisible that keeps them in place. And in your own life, maybe there are quiet forces, kindness, memory, love, that do the same. Space seems peaceful, silent, still, but the universe is always in motion. Galaxies twist, they spin, and sometimes they collide. Imagine 2 great cities of stars, drifting toward each other, slowly, quietly, over billions of years. At first, just whispers of gravity, then arms intertwine, stars scatter, gas clouds ignite. New stars are born in bursts of brilliant light. These are galactic mergers, beautiful, violent, creative, and completely silent. When 2 spiral galaxies meet, their delicate arms are often torn apart, like flower petals in a strong wind. The orderly orbits of stars become chaotic. Gas is thrown into intergalactic space. What remains often settles into a new shape, a large, smooth, elliptical galaxy. No spiral arms, no structure, but still full of light. This is how many of the largest galaxies were born, not through calm growth, but through cosmic collisions, like mountain ranges rising from the clash of continents, or rivers joining to form oceans. And this isn't just ancient history. Even now, the Milky Way is merging. Several small galaxies are falling into us, drawn by our gravity. The Sagittarius dwarf galaxy is being pulled apart. Its stars now form ghostly streams, wrapping through the Milky Way's halo, like stardust trails from forgotten comets. Other dwarf galaxies are on the same journey, being digested, reshaped, merged, until they are no longer separate, until they become us. And then, there's Andromeda, our nearest galactic neighbor, beautiful, massive, and heading directly toward us. Right now, it lies 2.5 million light-years away, but it's moving closer, at about 110 kilometers per second. That may sound fast, but in cosmic time, it's a slow, steady glide. In about 4 billion years, the Milky Way and Andromeda will merge. Their stars will swirl together. Their shapes will blur. And what comes after will be something entirely new. A new galaxy, a new form, perhaps a giant elliptical, perhaps a calm swirl. No one knows for sure. But don't worry, the stars themselves will not crash. The space between them is vast. They will pass through one another like ghosts. Graceful, silent, sublime. Tonight, as you rest, picture the great dance above you, galaxies twirling, edging closer. Not with violence, but with ancient patience. Thank you for listening with Infinity Beyond. You are part of this dance, a note in a cosmic symphony. And like the galaxies, you are always becoming something more. Time does not move the same way in the cosmos. In the vast stretches of space, time bends, and light becomes a messenger. In 2021, humanity launched something extraordinary, the James Webb Space Telescope, a giant golden eye orbiting far from Earth, designed not just to look far, but to look back. Webb is a time machine, not one of fiction, but of reflection. Its mirror, over 6 meters wide, captures ancient light stretched by the expansion of the universe. This stretching is called redshift, a cosmic pulling of wavelengths into the infrared. That's where Webb sees. That's where the universe whispers its oldest memories, galaxies that formed just a few 100 million years after the Big Bang, now glowing like embers across time. Some are chaotic, irregular clouds of stars and dust. Others, to our surprise, are mature, well-formed spirals and disks. It's like finding skyscrapers built just moments after the first bricks. A cosmic puzzle, a rewritten origin story. But here's the poetry. The farther a galaxy is, the younger it truly is. But the older it looks to us, because we are seeing it as it was. Billions of years ago, before Earth, before the Sun, before memory itself. You see, we cannot rewind the universe, but we don't need to. The universe has already sent us its light, one photon at a time, across emptiness, through gravity, through time. And we catch them, with mirrors, gold, and quiet patience. This is what science is, not always equations or experiments, but listening, watching, receiving the oldest stories ever told, written in light. Tonight, as you rest, think of Webb, floating in cold space, silent, gentle, watching galaxies being born, watching stars ignite, watching the first chapters of existence unfold. You're not just a viewer, you are part of this moment, a consciousness able to look back across eternity, a life, brief and glowing, catching light from the beginning. Thank you for dreaming with Infinity Beyond. Time moves forward, but light always carries us home. The universe, once full of fire, now slows, not in motion. Galaxies still race apart, stars still burn. But in creation, something has shifted. There was a time when galaxies were bursting with stars, clouds of gas collapsing, igniting, filling the cosmos with brilliance. But today, many galaxies are quiet. Their stellar nurseries empty, their gas used up, their light soft, red, fading. Astronomers call them red and dead, not because they're lifeless, but because the stars inside are aging. No young blue stars, no fireworks of birth, just calm, just memory. Even the Milky Way is quieter now, still forming stars, yes, but less than it once did. We are in a slower chapter, a reflective phase, like the hush after a storm. At the same time, the universe is expanding. faster and faster. Galaxies not bound to us by gravity are drifting away. Their light stretches, their images fade. One day, they'll vanish entirely from our view. Not destroyed, just unreachable. This is the work of dark energy, a mysterious force pushing everything apart. We don't know what it is, only that it's winning. And so, the universe enters a new season, a time of distance, of silence, of cold. But don't be afraid. This will take trillions of years. We are still early in the story, still in the age of light. Telescopes like Hubble and James Webb continue to show us the brilliance of what once was, and still is. Colliding galaxies, new stars forming, dust swirling into planets. Life possibly awakening. There is beauty, even in slowing. There is wonder, even in fading. Just like autumn leaves drifting from trees, the galaxies are not dying, they're changing. So tonight, as you drift into dreams, picture the cosmic ocean, galaxies like lanterns, spinning, separating, each one with its own quiet story. Thank you for listening to Infinity Beyond. The stars may fade, but the light they leave behind still reaches you.